values for another 8 years or 4 years or whatever it is. But he's going around saying, oh, well, I can serve for 8 years. It takes 8 years to fix it. No, he made a big mistake. Just like you don't change your name in the middle of a election. Change his name in the middle of the election. You don't do that. You do it before or after, but ideally you don't do it at all. I liked it before anyway. I liked his name better before. I don't like the name change. Should we tell him that? But most people don't know what I mean. No, he's actually sort of changed the name. Let's, syllabolic, they call it. He wants a syllabolic name. But we are doing really well. We're just up on everybody. You have people coming into the race. You know, they're polling at 1%, 2%. I don't know what they're doing. They must know something. They're not very. Some are stupid. I know actually some of them are pretty stupid. But she says they're running for cabinet. See, they're not that stupid. I think running for cabinet. They say they're running for VP, right? They're running for VP in cabinet. Maybe they are. But some of them won't happen, that I can tell you. But the numbers have been as good as I've ever had. Susie is here, Susie Wells, who's been fantastic, and Chris, and they said they've never seen numbers like this. So it's good. Even Brad is impressed, and he's hard to impress. But the whole group has been special. So we're running hard. Got here yesterday and spent the night here, which I like, but we'll be spending a lot of nights here. And we did the first time, and actually the second time we didn't have to, but we did anyway. We essentially didn't have an opponent the second time. We got more votes, I don't know if you know this, last time in the primary, than any other president has ever had. And then we got more votes in the primaries. That was in the primaries. And then we got more votes than any sitting president has ever gotten by millions and millions and millions, beating Obama by many millions of votes. And we did better than any president has ever done, any sitting president. And then you had a rigged election, let's face it, okay? You had a rigged election. But they used COVID to cheat, and we're not going to let that happen again. We're not going to let it happen again. But I just want to thank the people in this room. You've been very special, and most of you have been here from the beginning, right from the beginning, from when we started, which is really like the 2015 day. You know, a lot of people say, oh, no, it's 2016. No, really, we started in 2015, and Brad and a few people, quite a few people in this room were there. So I just thought I'd surprise you. I know you were having this, and without me, hello, you're so friendly back there. Thank you very much. But it was so, when I heard about your event, I wasn't supposed to be here. I said, let's go over there. What are they doing? It's like a pizza event. Let's go eat pizza. Let's go eat pizza. So that's what I want to do. Anybody have any questions? We'll do a few questions. Yes, go ahead, please.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We're so glad to have you here in Iowa.
Thank you.
You know, they're raising our debt ceiling again.
Yeah.
Without doing any cuts to the budget. Are you going to be able to take hold of that?
We're going to do it right in 2 years. It's going to come again, and they had a great opportunity. And look, they worked very hard, and I was surprised. You know, the vote was pretty lopsided, in all fairness. I was a little surprised. I thought it was a great opportunity. Kevin worked very hard. I mean, you know, but we're going to do it at a different level next time, and it'll be very interesting to see. But at some point, you know, you have to do it. At some point, you have to really do it, and we're going to get that done along with a lot of other things. I understand exactly how you feel. Okay? Please, go ahead. Say it. Oh, so we had a deal with President Xi of China, because it comes from China and most of it comes through the southern border, and we had it very close to stopped. You know, we have right now 12 times more drugs coming in than you had 3 years ago. We had it stopped. Human trafficking, mostly, I have to say, in women, but human trafficking was at a level like we've never seen before, you know, under these people. We had it down to a fraction. I think it was 38 years, the best numbers. Any number is bad, horrible when you think. It almost sounds like primeval. You don't think of human trafficking, but it's a big thing and a big business, and the cartels and everything else, they were not liking Trump. But we had numbers that nobody had seen for years. We had the strongest border we've ever had in recorded history, maybe 250, 500 years ago. I don't know. They maybe had better, but I'll tell you what, we had the best border that ever in recorded history by far. We built hundreds of miles of wall. We were adding more. to show you the fake news. They used to say, well, he didn't really build this many miles. He built only 56 because we already had. If there was a little piece of steel that was rotted and laying in the ground for 50 years, or if there was a piece of wood in the ground, and we put up these very powerful structures. You know, I had the Border Patrol, Brandon Juddy's fantastic, and Tom Holman, fantastic people. They were the ones that designed the wall. I was going to use plank. I was going to use concrete plank and put them up, like literally from a parking garage floor, long concrete plank, 40, 50 feet long. But they had to have vision through. They have to be able to see. I said, well, maybe you don't. I mean, because I had a vision much different. Much different, but they needed to have steel. It's actually steel, concrete, and also rebar in there. It's very powerful, a lot of different materials, very hard to cut because they cut it down. But I wanted concrete plank, and they said, no, you have to be able to. So, I mean, literally, I let them go out and design it, and that had a big impact. One of the things I did that a lot of people don't like talking about, I have a great relationship with the president of Mexico. And even though he's a socialist, you can't have everything, right? But we had a great relationship. And I told them, I said, look, you're going to have to give us 28,000 soldiers we need to guard our border. And they laughed. They said, you got to be kidding. Why would we do that? I said, because otherwise I'm going to put tariffs on all of your cars and all of the things that you send into the United States. And I'm giving you the shorter version. And they said, we would be delighted to give you free of charge 28,000 soldiers. And they gave us 28,000 soldiers as we were building the wall. But we built a lot of wall, and then we were going to build more because I saw there were certain areas like water pouring in, right? Certain you got to fix. And there were certain areas that I wanted to fix. And we ordered another 200 miles of wall. And we were almost finished with it. And then we had the election result come out, which is ridiculous, frankly. We can't let that happen again. And they didn't finish the wall. We had it all bought. It was all laying right there, ready to install. 3 weeks it could have been, that additional amount could have been done. But that's when I started to get the idea that they actually want to have an open border. And who would want an open border? Who would want, what's the purpose? Who would want, even if you're radical left, liberal, and even if you hate our country a little bit, you got to hate our country a lot to do what they want to do. And they must. They must. Look, they have to be smart because anybody that can cheat on elections like that isn't stupid. So they have to be smart. But to allow millions of people to pour through into our country, from insane asylums, mental institutions, to prisons all over the place. You have prisons over in other countries, many other countries, not just the 4, Mexico, and plus the other 3 that we talk about a lot. But, you know, you take a look at countries that are so far away. Countries in Africa, countries all over. 129 countries last month came in, were represented with people pouring into our country illegally. 129 countries. Most people don't even know you have much more than that, actually, but 129 is a lot. And they came into our country, and we have no idea who they are, what they do, where they come from. They just walk in. And you still have people. I had a friend the other day said, could you give us a hand with, he wants to apply for citizenship. And I probably shouldn't have said this. They'll say, oh, that's a terrible thing. I said, why don't you just walk over to the southern border and walk in? Because it takes you a long time. You know, these people go through 10, 12 years. They have to take tests, and the way it should be done. And frankly, it's very sad. Very sad what's happened. I say it, and I say it a lot, and nobody is able to dispute it. You take the 5 worst presidents in the history of our country, and you put them together, and they haven't done as much damage as this administration has done to the United States of America. They haven't. Terrible. It's a terrible thing. But I know we have your support already, but I just want to say we have to win big. The way you stop the cheating is to swamp them. You know, there's a point at which they can't cheat. We have to swamp them. And I thought we did it last time. And it was very close, even, you know, with all the cheating and everything that they were doing. It was very close. At 10 o'clock, everybody in this room said this election's over. Pennsylvania, we were so far up, hundreds of thousands of votes ahead. And all of a sudden, you saw that drop at, 3:02 in the morning with, you know, the chart coming down, 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 down. The votes are running out, pop, 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 bing, bing. And all of a sudden, we lose Pennsylvania. We were so far up ahead. It was a very sad thing to watch. And the whole world watched it. And even if you do polls, you take a look at the polls, even Democrats say, man, that was a bad thing, because it's a bad thing, so bad for our country. That and the borders and other things we can fix, but that and the borders, we have to take care of them. So I appreciate your support. We're going to make America great again. We're going to make it. We can make it in a very short period of time. We'll start drill. You know, drill, baby, drill. I mentioned the other day at sea. They said, what would you do? I mean, first I'd clog up. I'd stop the border, and we're going to have to get a lot of these the criminals that came in. We have, I mean, just tens of thousands of criminals, prisoners. Do you know how much money do they make when they give you the people that are in their jails that they're going to be taken care of for 60 years, and they come in, they put them in, they just dump them in. We're like a dumping ground for the world, and they give you people from mental institutions. And I was telling a story that I read a story recently where I guess a psychiatrist was in a institution in one of the South American countries, and he was saying he has nothing much to do. He wasn't a wise guy or anything. He just said he has nothing much to do. He's always been so busy, so many people. And now he said the place is virtually empty because everybody's been deposited over in the United States of America. And how anybody could allow this to happen to our country is unbelievable. So we're going to have to get them out. It's a rough thing, but we have to get them out. We have to get the people out that come in from the jails. We have to get them out because we're not going to reform. Well, you have to get me in. It's true. Because I don't think anybody else is going to be able to do it. And we'll do it. And we'll do it fast. And we'll do it fast. And I'm very proud of, I mean, you have a lot more than farmers here, but this state is a big farm state. And I'll tell you, we love the farmers. They've done incredibly well. They're smart. They're incredible people. You look at our number one opponent, because I don't know if he's going to be number two very long, because he's heading south very rapidly. But let's assume he is for a while. But you look at what he's said about what we did, the money that I raised, he was against it. He was against giving it to the farmers. You look at so many of the different policies he's got, including ethanol. He was strongly opposed to ethanol. I was for it. I was the one that saved ethanol. Ethanol was gone. If I didn't get elected, ethanol was dead, totally dead. And, that's a big factor for Iowa. Some places don't like it. Right, that's right. We'll take care of that, too. Yeah, it's another thing we'll take care of. Yeah, good point. We'll take care of it. We take care of it all. But, it's somebody said, oh, you're very conservative. I said, no, it's not conservative. I have common sense. We all have common sense. They should have a word called common sense. It should be a party. Common sense. The common sense. Because literally 95% of it is about common sense. So I just want to thank everybody in this room. You're very, very special to me and very special to the country, frankly. And we got to win big. We got to win big in Iowa. And let's have some pizza, right? Okay? Let's have some pizza. Go ahead, sir. Did you have a question? Right behind you. You had a question? Yes, go ahead. Right. They've been treated so badly. Oh. They've been treated so unfairly and so badly. And you look at Antifa, they go and kill people. You look at what happened in Seattle, where they practically took over the place. You look at Portland, Minneapolis, and death. We're talking about a lot of death. And then they shot Ashley Babbitt. They shot Ashley Babbitt for no reason whatsoever. They shot a thug. He was a thug who shot her. And it's a disgrace. The way they've treated those people is, and everywhere I go, somebody brings up the whole J6 situation. The way they've treated those people. You watch what happens. You watch what happens. Yes, sir. Go ahead, please. Right. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you. I will say this. I mean, my people could attest, because many of my people were here from the beginning. We've never had a level of spirit that we have right now, and that's because people really see the country as being, we're like at a crossroads. And I used to say, if we keep it going like this, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids, and that's what it's going to be. And that's where we're heading. And so many people see that. I appreciate that very much. Yes, ma'am. We're going to work on that. You're right about that. Isn't that a disgrace? ESG at the bank, so we'll take care of those banks. Yes, ma'am, please, go ahead.
What are you going to do for disabled people? People need to know
Yeah. Thank you. How nice is that, huh? Are you related? Daughter? That's beautiful. That's a great job. I could not have said it that well. That I can tell you. We're doing a lot for the disabled. We're doing a lot for everybody. That's beautifully put, too. Thank you very much, darling. Thank you. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
I just want to point out two things. Hard work seems to agree with you. You look great. Our president is going out. Goes back to November, is you, sir. You're the number one.
Yeah. It's very nice. I feel that. But, you know, some people, Ashley Babbitt, lost their lives. So when you think about it, I would say that's, you know, they're the number. People lose their lives, and they're the number one victims. But no, I certainly feel that too. But I appreciate that statement. Yeah, they come after me, and the better I do, the more they come after me, you know, because they don't want us to. We had a poll in Florida, we're just absolutely killing Biden by much more than the other one. The other one is not doing as well by even close. We're beating every primary opponent by so much, including number two, and we have to do that. Somebody said, why don't you be nicer? I said, because we have to win. We have to win this. It's not a game. We're trying to save our country, and if we don't save our country, I think if we don't, I think it's the most important election we've ever had, because it's like our country's decaying from within. You have a question? Go, please. Right here. Blonde, beautiful blonde hair. Young lady? Okay, I'll do both. The one with beautiful brown hair and beautiful blonde hair. Go ahead, same question. Right, mom's good. Well, we're going to sign executive orders first day, and you're right, moms. How about where they talk about parental? They want parental power, parental rights. Who would ever think you would have to talk about it? Today, parental is a big word. It's a big, powerful word, because they took our education away from the mothers and the fathers who love the children so much, even from the teachers to a certain extent. And they have it in these people's hands, between men participating in women's sports, which is so ridiculous, and so many things that are far worse than that. It's far worse than that. You know what I'm talking about. So we're going to take care of that very quickly. It's going to as you know, we took care of it when I was there, and they added a thing called the military into it too. That's pretty incredible. Yes, please, go ahead. I think about it a little bit, but I don't like to think about it too much. We have vice president there saying, have you put any thought? I think about it. We have a lot of candidates, right? We have them running left and right. But I think about it, but I don't want to think about it too much. One thing I will say, nobody's ever voted for a vice president, meaning when you're running for president, if you have one that's great or one that's a little bit less than great, or if you have one that's bad, you have bad ones too. It really doesn't have too many. This one, it's just, now it's might be the best thing he's got going, right? But you know, it's a little bit of an old axiom that nobody ever votes for the vice president, and I think, you know, I'd give it more credit than that. It's still it's so important, because something happens and you have yourself a president, so it's very important. But I don't think from a voting standpoint it matters very much. Yes, please.
Mr. President, I served your campaign in 2020.
Good.
in charge of the fourth district.
Yes.
On every single count.
Ah, good.
I want you to know that I was going to be fighting for you and be strong for you.
Great.
My 15-year-old son woke up this morning and instead of saying, I love you, Mom and Dad, what did he say? Good morning. What did he say?
He wants to be in the Army, and he wanted us to say that he is a soldier ready to serve under you.
Ah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Say hello. Give him a big kiss. Okay? That's very nice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Please, go ahead.
We've talked about a lot of things, but we haven't talked about the Second Amendment. Haven't heard.
Yeah, Second Amendment.
Now, do you feel we need more gun laws or just enforce the ones we have?
Well, we have very strong laws. And, you know, if you look at Chicago, where last weekend, I don't know if you saw that, 50 people were shot, 12 died. They have the strongest gun laws in the country. New York, likewise. Los Angeles, likewise. They're all the strongest gun laws. That's where the biggest problems are. No, I'm a guardian of the Second Amendment, as you know. I didn't let him do anything to it. And very strong guardian. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Matt, this morning you talked about it takes me 6 weeks to take this country back.
Yeah.
Another 8 years to get used to it.
Yeah. I said 6 months. He wants me to do it in 6 weeks. We could. I'll tell you what. But even in 6 weeks, we can make a hell of a dent, right? Drill, baby. Now we can actually. I might change it. If you think about it, in 6 weeks we can make a hell of a dent. Yeah, I said 6 months. I also said that I believe I can end the war between Russia and Ukraine. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I believe I can end it in 24 hours, and that's what should happen. That's what should happen. Okay? Good. Okay, this young, handsome man right here. Go, 2 of them. Hi.
My question is, what's your plan to make the American dream possible for our generation?
Make what?
The American dream possible.
Well, the American dream, you don't hear about it anymore. Right now, there is no American dream. You know, it used to be the American dream. Today, you don't hear about it. What we do is we have to free it up. We have to have great elections. We have to have strong borders. We have to have incentives to get people to want to be entrepreneurs or to work for a living. I mean, it's great. And we can get back there. If we don't win this upcoming election, because we still have a long way to go. You know, we still have a long way. You know, the damage they can do in a little more than a year and a half is incredible. Look at the damage they've done during this period of time. Nobody thinks it's possible. Nobody would have believed it's possible. But if we get in, we're gonna make a lot of American dreams happen, just like we did. We were doing so well. I told the story today to one of the groups. I met with a lot of different groups, and this one was very important to me. But I told the story today. It was so crazy. We have to get in. We have to create incentive for people to want to go to work. You know, a lot of the people that had jobs refuse to work now. I don't know. They got used to not working. We have to create incentive for them to get back. We have to get back. And they don't want to work, and they don't show it as a job opening. They say, oh, we have 3.5. That's false. It's false information. But we have to create, I mean, the American dream, it's a great question because you don't hear that expression anymore, the American dream. But you guys are young. You're going to, very soon, you're going to see the American dream back, okay? Good, thank you.
President Trump, Biden just fell on stage at commencement.
He did? He just fell on what stage?
He's down at Colorado Springs doing that commencement.
He's at the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, fell on stage.
He actually fell down? Well, I hope he wasn't hurt. I hope he wasn't hurt. But the whole thing is crazy. You got to be careful about that. You got to be careful about that because you don't want that. Even if you have to tiptoe down a ramp, you got to tiptoe. It's like an ice skate. You know, it's the same, because that was the best speech I think I've ever made. And it was pouring rain, and it was horrible and cold and windy. And they have a ramp that was pure like an ice skating rink. And it was like 25 feet long, and I talking to the general, and he has boots on, you know, big combat boots, and they're rubber soles. And I have nice leather, good. And I say, you know what, General, get ready. If I grab you, you just get ready, because I got this stupid ramp that somebody put up, and there's no stairs, right? And I said, so I tiptoed down, and I suffered for that. They never covered my speech. But everybody, the smart people understood that. But that's too bad. If you fell, it's too bad. Look, it's just... Yeah, the winds. Yeah. Look, you know, we gotta just get this thing back on track. That's a bad place to fall when you're making. I think it was the Air Force Academy, right? Just making. That's not inspiring. Go ahead.
When you're in office again and we get the next virus, what will you do different as RNC member traveling the country?
Yeah.
And we have lost people because you supported the chat.
Yeah.
What do you think you would do different?
Yeah. Well, you know, everybody wanted a vaccine at that time, and I was able to do something that nobody else could have done, getting it done very, very rapidly. But I never was for mandates. I thought the mandates were terrible. And you know, there's a big portion of the country that thinks that was a great thing. You understand that. Not a lot of the people in this room, but there is a big portion. I had a man come up to me the other day who's actually a Democrat liberal guy, a friend of mine. And he said to me, I don't even know if he voted for me, to be honest, but he's a friend of mine, smart guy, but very liberal. He said, why is it you never mention what you did with the vaccines? I said, no, thanks. I'm not going to be doing that right now. But, you know, there is a big, he said, it's amazing. You saved so many lives. There's a big portion that feel very much the opposite. We can understand that. We can handle that. But I hated the idea of the mandates, and I didn't do the mandates. You know, I didn't make any governor close their state. Florida did close, as you know, but South Carolina, South Dakota, a lot of states didn't. Tennessee, a lot of states, the governors really did a good job. Iowa didn't really close, and they really didn't close. In Florida, you know, that state was locked down. He didn't even want people to drive on the highways, but closed all the beaches, that state was locked down for a period of time. And I'm not saying anything good, bad, or indifferent, but there were states that did no lockdown, and I gave governors the right to do that. Now, all the governors closed down. They locked down very hard, all the Democrat governors. But numerous of the Republican governors didn't, and I gave them that option. It's called the Federalist system. And, you know, some took advantage, because I didn't say you have to lock down. What I said is you make your own decision. But we had numerous Republican governors that did a fantastic job that didn't lock down, and they really did. We had some great governors. I would say that there were no Democrat governors that did that. They were all for the lockdowns, and you know they suffered a very big price for that. That was really bad. What it did to the children, what it did to a lot of people, and they hurt a lot of people with those lockdowns. Those lockdowns were bad, but no mandates on that. The mandates were bad. The mandates were very prevalent in some states. If you look back, by the way, if you look back at Florida, they had a big vaccine program. I want to tell you, you just get vaccinated. You know, it's amazing how people forget. All of a sudden they forget. But I'm very proud of a lot of our governors. They did really a fantastic job. They really did a fantastic job. And this state is one of them. They did a really great job. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you, since I was able to vote from a young kid, you know, you have done the best president.
Very nice. Yeah. Yeah.
My husband went through a lot, and under you, it was very helpful.
That's right. We spent a lot of effort and money and everything else on that. That's right.
And secondly, I also want to thank you for helping the farmers.
Yeah.
I'm a farm girl.
Good.
And I really appreciate what you've done for them. And thirdly, I guess I just want to say, we're pulling for you, and we're going to get you back in as president, and we're going to do everything we can. I'm very concerned about the human trafficking issue that's going on in our
Yeah. It's gotten worse than ever. Human trafficking.
I believe a lot of this leads back to the Ukraine in many ways.
Yeah.
But that will all get figured out at some
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I can't end with a nicer statement than that. That was a statement, not a question. Thank you very much. We love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really great. Thank you. Thank you. We got to win. We got to win big. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Don't eat too much pizza. Have a good time. Thank you very much. Thank you.